everyone, and thank you so much for coming back and joining me. Now, for anyone who has returned as a subscriber, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, because it has been like 5 months since I've recorded a video. But I am back and I am here to stay. And if you're new, welcome to my YouTube channel, Supreme Comics Girl. Now, just to quickly, embarrassingly get this out of the way, a lot of people ask and people assume that I make money on YouTube. I don't make any money from YouTube. That's just a personal decision of mine, and it's not going to change anytime soon as far as I'm aware. It's just my own preference. However, so many people asked if they could donate to my YouTube channel. So if you want to donate, say $1, $5, what have you, you can do that at any time. I will leave the link to my PayPal down in the pinned comments in the comment section, because so many people do ask, and I felt bad that so many were asking, so that has now been set up. Now, moving on. The reason why I wanted to come on today was because this is a topic that I really have passion for, and it's Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. Now, this is, of course, the old classic movie, but there was a show made which is based on the events, obviously, before Jim Henson's movie, and it was a show that was brought out last year through Netflix. Netflix basically took it on, and they were so thankful, that they believed in, doing something so creative like this, because this show, in case anybody doesn't know, it's completely cast as puppets. Basically, it's puppeteer work, which is really, a lot. It's very intricate and, would be very monotonous and very difficult, in my personal opinion, I feel anyway. And I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes stuff on YouTube. And if you look it up, The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, that was the name of it. And they released The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance on Netflix Season 1 last year. And I believe it was on the 30th of August, because I thought it was a really cool time for it to be coming out, to have something new to watch, because I always start watching stuff for Halloween around that time, and it just felt like a nice time to sort of watch something new. And there was one particular scene, just really quickly, with these big spiders. Don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, and they're like crawling along and everything, and put me in the Halloween-esque vibes, because it was kind of getting there. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit of a weirdo when it comes to Halloween. Love and life when it comes near Halloween, right? So getting into all the Halloween stuff already. But you can let me know down in the comments, have you seen, first of all, the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Season 1? And if so, what did you think about it? Now, I did do a really in-depth review of all my thoughts of Season 1, so I will actually put the link to that video of my review in my About section. So on to the whole reason why I'm doing this video. I'm really sad, upset, annoyed, mad, and freaking well frustrated at Netflix, because they're being so stupid and redonkulous, okay? Redonkulous isn't a word, but they're being ridiculous, so you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter at this stage. They have cancelled, yes, that is correct, they have cancelled the show, and it's only had 1 season. It ended off where we were going to be getting a season 2, and we were supposed to be getting a season 2. And even Mark Hamill, he actually voiced a character in this called Skektek. And he's a Skeksis, and basically, if you're not aware of the Dark Crystal, Skeksis are the villains. They're the bad dudes in the show, basically. So he just reminded me of the Joker in this, just before I say this. He just reminded me of Joker in this, because obviously he voices Joker, right? And it was hilarious, but it added to it because it was so funny. So funny. But I remember I actually tweeted Mark Hamill, and I said to him, is there going to be a season 2, with all these, like, please let me know, kind of like, what do you call them, like symbols and emojis, whatever. I'm not a technical person. He didn't respond to my tweet, but then I'd seen a couple of days later, like, heck to the freaking well no, Mark Hamill, what is the deal? He actually responded to someone else's tweet asking the same question. I'm going to pretend that I didn't cry when that happened, but it was a time in my life that was quite sad, but we're just going to move on. He had responded back saying, yes, I'm hoping there's going to be a season 2, but we haven't heard back yet or whatever. So obviously Netflix hadn't even let them know what is the deal. But what do you hear? This is hilarious. They won an Emmy Award for, check this word out, the most outstanding, the word being outstanding, right? Outstanding children's, show. So if it was so outstanding and it won an award, it actually won an Emmy Award. And this was literally just hours after The Dark Crystal had won the Emmy Award. And I will bring up the tweet from the official The Dark Crystal Twitter. And I'll bring that up just to show you, because, it's good to show proof, because sometimes, when YouTubers are talking, you're like, are they telling the truth? So it's good to, have, receipts. So I don't get it. So basically Netflix's congratulatory sort of thing is, I'm going to congratulate you by saying, that's great and everything, but we are going to just, do you know what, congratulations, it was great and all, but we're going to cancel it. We're going to just cancel it. Even though whilst they have trash being shown, like really terrible trash that's ready for the bin, onto Netflix. So that's what really frustrates me. Do you know what I mean? It's not like all of Netflix is filled with these fantabulous shows and you could go, oh, well, okay, they maybe didn't have the room. So what is the dealio? I don't get it. Am I missing something here? Because if something won an award, I'm pretty sure I would want it back for a season 2, because that was what was already freaking well planned. I'm really passionate about this, guys, because I absolutely loved the show. My favourite character 100% was Deet, and the girl who actually did the puppeteering for her lives in Belfast, which is like 15-20 minutes away from me. And I mean, obviously I don't go and stalk her and look outside her window or anything and like try to see if she has the actual puppet of Deet in her house, since they're not doing season 2 now. But I'm not gonna lie, like if I knew where she lived, I'd probably go and get her a Starbucks or something and then like somehow try and steal her puppet. She's my favourite. I loved all the characters in this, but she was my favourite. There was nobody that I didn't like. You really believed in all the characters. And we just it really opened up massively. The world building was amazing. It massively opened up the world of Thra, which is basically the name of the world. It's called Thra, that Jim Henson so beautifully and spectacularly, created for all of us. And I think that was massively shown in this. And the visuals were absolutely stunning. There was like mountains and just, it was unbelievable, even down to the things like trees and flowers and plants. It was just fantastic. And they had big massive set, built for this, huge. And the puppets and everything, I was watching behind the scenes just how much they had to be so, go over and fix little tiny strands of hair and everything. And it just looked like a massive amount of work. So it kind of seems to me like Netflix are okay with cutting off shows that are massively creative and wanting to sort of take on shows that are kind of ready for a dumpster. But if you think about it, I actually read that Netflix, well, I don't know if they definitely said, but apparently in a report, Netflix actually said that they are really thankful for the outstanding work, that hard work that was put into the cast and the crew creating this show, The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Season 1. But obviously they didn't think it was that outstanding. The public obviously did, considering they won an Emmy Award for the most outstanding show. So I don't understand where they're going with this. To me, I don't know if you've heard of a movie called Cuties. Now, I'm not massively going to be talking about this, but it is a movie. Now, I did not watch the movie because I heard about it. It's meant to be like disgusting, sort of like sexualizing young girls and stuff like that. And without really getting into it, I watched a small part of a scene and I couldn't even finish watching one small tiny little clip because it was horrifying. It was disgusting. These girls looked about 7 or 8 years of age and they were dancing in a way and twerking in a way that, you'd really not really see anybody doing until they're in their like 20s or something. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. And Netflix are standing by it and they were saying, I think it was on Twitter, we stand by this movie. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, are you having a freaking laugh? So what annoys me is they're leaving stuff like that on Netflix and they're proud to, a movie, but they're not proud to keep something that's won an Emmy Award. And why is not making a season 2? Do you know what I mean? I don't understand the logic, if anyone can tell me, because it's just not registering in my head. And I mean, if someone asked me to recommend them great shows on Netflix, I would only really have 3 because they're the only 3 that I have actually watched on Netflix. Now, I do not have Netflix, nor will I ever be banned it if, Cuties and all this other sort of stuff is the trash heap nonsense that they're going to be dribbling out to us. So the only ones that I have seen that were marvellous and that I would highly recommend, I'm not talking movies, I'm just talking shows, would be Stranger Things, because it's absolutely fantastic. If you like sort of sci-fi stuff and young kids, like the Goonies and stuff like that, like 80s type vibe, watch that show, seriously. if you The Witcher, if you like fantasy sort of stuff, you like fantasy kind of books and stuff like that, The Witcher, Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, plays the lead role in it. If you like that sort of thing, even if you haven't read the books, there is books. Now, don't be worrying, you can still watch it. It's fantastic, right? And obviously this one, that would be the third one, Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. So I am so sad because I absolutely loved the season, and I'm so sad because I was really, really looking forward to it. And when I seen that on my Google feed, my mouth just dropped. I was just like, no, that is so sad. And I really wanted to come on about this, guys, because I am really passionate about it, and I wanted to ask everyone what their thoughts and opinions were on it, because I just don't really know where Netflix is going with this. And it kind of seems to me like the way the kind of modern world is with sort of shows and movies is they're just bringing out a lot of nonsense, in my opinion. And if they're going to go down the road of not bringing out shows like The Witcher, Stranger Things, and this one, then they're being very silly, because they're going to notice really, really quick that they're going to have to cancel those, because people obviously want to see things like The Witcher and all that, because look at how well The Witcher done, look at how well Stranger Things is doing. You want to look at what's doing well and what the audience want, whereas it kind of seems like Netflix are just doing their own thing, and they're just doing what they want to do, and they're not really obviously listening to the public or a show like this that's winning Emmy Awards. And I'm sure that was a big frig you to the cast and the crew, and to be honest, the blood, sweat and tears that they probably went through to make this, I would be absolutely just so upset. And I feel that we definitely could have got another season. I'm not saying that it should have had 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons, but I think it could have ended on a season 2 or a season 3. But I'd have been more than happy with just having a season 2, to be perfectly honest. And Jim Henson's daughter, Lisa Henson, she pretty much has said what I believe as well, so we both basically think the same thing, which is there is so much more room in terms of writing material that we can get into. And what I loved about season 1 was there's different clans basically within the show, and we got to learn all about where they live and how they live, and then so smartly those characters were separate but they all sort of met up, if you know what I mean, and the stories all kind of gelled together. But what I loved was the pacing was very well done, that it wasn't sort of really slow moving or fast moving, and it was easy enough to understand for kids. And with it being puppets and everything, kids would find that fun. And even for adults, for goodness sake, I've even recommended it to my mum and dad, because I know they do actually have Netflix. And I think my mum seen the trailer, I sent her the trailer, and I reacted to all these trailers. If you've been with me for a long time, you'll know I was super, super excited for this. And now I'm just feeling on a real downer about it, because it's sad, and I do genuinely feel that Netflix are being silly. I think they've threw away a really good opportunity by not bringing out a season 2. And I think we should all go on to Twitter. If you do have a Twitter account, if you don't worry about it, and write to Netflix and say, please don't cancel, or please bring back the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, or stop being silly. Don't cancel the Dark Crystal. It's amazing, it's fantastic. If you want, even link them this video. And Netflix, if you watch this, what are you playing at? Are you being serious right now? Because I don't understand your logic. Please send me an answer. You can tweet me. I'm sure you have better things to do, but tweet me. Anyways, guys, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with more videos. I do have another comic book review coming out, which will be another Doctor Strange one, of course. And yes, I will have more and more videos for you. And yes, I know it's been a while, but thank you so much for everyone again who has stuck with me. And if you're new, I do hope that you consider subscribing to the channel. And it means if you subscribe, you will be notified every time I upload a new video. So thank you so much, everyone, and I hope everyone's keeping well and have a lovely day or evening, depending on when you watch this. Bye, guys.